Welcome back, trainers. So we're going to be taking a look at Genesect, kind of going over what we can expect in the future regarding its specific movesets, because I know a lot of you are still a bit confused as to why we can only have Hyper Beam and not Flamethrower, Ice Beam, Gunk Shot, or Zap Cannon. We'll go over all that. Why did I actually power up mine? I just wanted to test it out and have fun with it. I'm going to urge you guys, if you want to potentially use the Pokemon that I am using, like Genesect, for instance, go ahead, but realize that these are not going to be the best options every single time. I just like to test out the performance and bring them to you guys. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we have. We've looked at this many times before. So we're in the Pokedex. As you can see, there's all the different drives. And for the current one that we did get through the tasks, for the charge moves, it's going to have Hyper Beam, X-Scissor, Magnet Bomb. They're all going to maintain the same quick move for now until Niantic possibly changes that up, but I think it'll stay that way. And then taking a look at the burn, we're going to have Flamethrower in replace of Hyper Beam, maintaining X-Scissor and Magnet Bomb. They're all going to maintain X-Scissor and Magnet Bomb. It's just going to be one specific move that's going to be switched out for the Chill, Douse, and then the Shock. I would have loved to have the Flamethrower one, but unfortunately everybody who did the special research task is getting the normal one. And then we're going to have the Chill, which is going to be Ice Beam. Would have preferred this as well. Flamethrower or Ice Beam, both of those would have been good. I would have even went with the Douse, which is going to be water. But in this game, I don't understand it. Let's take a look. It's going to be Gunk Shot. I don't know. Maybe they might change that up in the future. But for now, it's a Gunk Shot for some odd reason. Although that would be an Azumarill Slayer, I guess. So Magnet Bomb still does a good amount of damage to Azumarill as well. Now, these specific drives don't necessarily change the Pokemon's typing, just more so the moves. And it also has a special move named Techno Blast, which is going to potentially get released in the future. So at least we're going to have the Elite TMs to kind of relieve that worry of powering up the ones that we're going for now. So as far as these other ones here, should you be concerned about them? Yes, to some degree you should, because you're not going to be able to TM them. Now, a good kind of understanding on how that is actually going to work. Say you're thinking, well, what about the Elite TM? Can't we use that when they get their new moves? Well, we'll see how Niantic implements it. Hopefully we're going to be able to put a plate on them or the disc to kind of change up that move, but we'll see how all that works. Let's not get our hopes up. But a good thing to compare it to is going to be Deoxys. As you can see here, each different form is going to have its own move. And you can't use an Elite TM on an attack form Deoxys to get the defense form set. Each one kind of holds its own special move that was assigned to it in Pokemon Go. And I think that's as simple as that. And that's how it's going to be for the Genesects as well. So if you're thinking to yourself, well, I'm going to max one out, the one that I got from the special research task, all the way up for Master League or for Ultra League, purchase a secondary move, that's all fine. Go for it. A Magnet Bomb as well as X-Scissor is still a good move set, but they're going to potentially get, those elemental moves in the future, in which they're going to be coming from EX raids. So we'll just have to see how all that works out. But fingers crossed that Niantic lets us actually put something on our Genesects that changes up their specific move types, not their Pokemon type. Now, taking a look at a little bit of a comparison here, going up against Venusaur, why not just go with Scizor in the Great League? Actually, yes. Technically, yes, right? I mean, basically not the same exact moves, but very similar. And technically, Scizor is actually going to be better in the Ultra League, okay? You're also going to have Fortress and Wormadam Trash. So there's plenty of Bug and Steel type options. I just want to throw this out here for you guys so you're not pressured into wanting to purchase that secondary move on your research Genesect. Although it's going to be fun. If you want to do it, go for it. You've seen the performance. You can make, some fun teams with it, and it's simply a fun Pokemon to use. You paid for it. Why not go ahead and go for it? It's just that rare candy investment for that secondary move is a bit steep, right? And then there's also the potential for different moves in the future. So I just kind of want to make you aware of that before you go ahead and invest. Now, if I had to pick one of these three here, which one would it be? Honestly, for the fun factor, I'm just going Genesect. But technically, Wormadam's probably going to be one of the best. It has access to a quick bug move for sure, but there's also another contender And that is going to be Fortress, folks. This is actually going to be outranking Scizor, Wormadam, and of course Genesect. So yes, higher ranked than they are. It is going to be a great bug type for sure, being that part steel type, only weak to fire. And that it did also pick up a few new moves, giving it a bit of tech and usability as well. So I also do have that shiny, have my Great League one here. I'm currently running Mirror Shot and Sand Tomb. I was just testing those out. I don't think that's necessarily what you're going to be wanting to run all the time, but I just wanted to see how that would work out. Now, there's one more thing to go over about the Genesect here, and that is going to be how good is it actually going to be going up against raids? Well, it's going to be currently the best bug type attacker until apparently Volcarona comes out. So Genesect with Fury Cutter X's are sitting at 14.5 DPS. TDO is going to be at 407. And then if you look at Pinsir, the second best, that's going to be at 14.0. So looks like Genesect is going to be the best bug type Pokemon in the game. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some battles here using my traditional team with Mawile, Superior, and Azumarill. And then we're going to switch it up for a couple of battles with Deoxys, Genesect, and then the Azumarill. I just want to go into further discussion on the Genesect. As we do take a look at these battles here, I'll do the commentary here in just a moment. Do you want to invest in your Genesect right now by that secondary move? I don't necessarily want to say no, but I don't want to urge you to do so as well. As we've seen, Scizor is going to be able to basically do the same thing that it's doing and actually have a little bit more bulk. Comparing them side by side in the Great League, it's going to be very close, but technically, yeah, Scizor is going to be better. Now, when it comes down to Genesect's other type moves that it's going to have down the line, but we have no idea when the actual EX raids are going to be opened back up for potentially catching Genesect. Okay, we're dealing with a crisis here, and it seems to just be getting worse. So don't really hold your breath for it to become an EX raid anytime soon. Although things can take a turn and become much better all of a sudden, and let's just pray that that happens. What I'm trying to say is we don't know when the other types are coming out. If you want to live in the current and the now and have fun with what you paid for, as well as the Genesect, and invest in that secondary move for 100 rare candies, or I wouldn't even call it 100 because you're going to be getting a few after you do complete the task. So just investing some rare candies, but then the steep part for a lot of people is going to be that Stardust. Personally, I wasn't even worried about that. It's more about the rare candies. Then go ahead and have fun with it, but just have, you know, in the back of your mind, knowing that there's going to be other Genesects with move pools that are going to be potentially better. And when they do receive different moves, it doesn't change up their types whatsoever or their stats. Okay, just wanted to lay that down there. I'm having fun with this thing, and yeah, you know. So anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at these battles. I did make a switch here into the Azumarill, and then they switched into Shiftry. All right, so we're going to just let this go down, and then we're going to come back in with the Mawile, and then kind of just vamp up that power up punch, make the Fire Fang stronger. But it looks like we're going to be able to almost take it out before even having to get that off. Oh, it looks like we actually had a tie. I take that back, and then we're able to take that out there. Now the Fire Fang's doing more damage. Let's see what they enter back into this battle with, and it's going to be a Meganium. Now I put this specific battle in here for you guys just to make a point, and that is going to be some of these teams, you know, could work all the time for them, but you want to kind of, you know, separate the weaknesses here. You don't want to go into go Battle League with a team that's weak to one type. For instance, my Mawile is just going to be able to maul through this whole team, literally, quite literally. So there it goes. Mawile. I mean, we had a little Azumarill action that pretty much took the fall and a shield, but for the most part, you kind of want to spread out your typings when you're in the Go Battle League. But like I said, the team could work, you know, it just depends if you run into somebody with that specific super effective move to you. Anyways, we did make a switch from the Toxicroak, and then they did switch into their Registeel here. So we're just going to try to get off as many Hydro Pumps as we can here, and I do not want to use a shield. So we should potentially be able to get to a Hydro Pump. We're hanging on by a thread, folks. So they're going to be able to take us out with one more lock on there. We're going to go back in, I think, with the Mawile, and definitely going to shield this up. We do not want to let the Focus Blast or the Flash Cannon get through. They're going to be bringing in their Toxicroak here, expecting a Mud Bomb, and we're shielding that up. I kind of wish I would have switched better to absorb the Mud Bomb, but that's okay. We would have been able to save a shield. We switch, and then they go into a Azumarill here. We have no more shields. We were able to lower their attack, thank goodness, so the Ice Beam's not going to do as much damage. So saving us there from having no shields. Very nice. For some reason, they're saving their shield, and down goes the Azumarill. They bring in the Toxicroak, and I'm just trying to bait out that last shield here. They go ahead and use it. Can we get to an Aerial Ace? And we get to it, folks. Let's go. And we hit a great and still take out the Toxicroak. Very nice there. So I did test out the Genesect team a lot. And it's not good, guys. Like, not the Genesect itself, but the lag. I was just, ooh, it was horrible today. And it's really sad because I used up my battles. So I'm not going to include those, but I will include the rest of them, right? So we are in the Azumarill matchup. Now they switch into the Skarmory here, after I did switch, of course, initially. And we're going to be going for an Ice Beam because we built up to a Hydro Pump, making them potentially think we're going to go for a Hydro Pump. So there's the Ice Beam, making a switch into Mawile. Our time was up, so we're able to switch again. And we're going to be able to absorb the Sky Attack with the Mawile. You know what it is. We've seen this one a lot. Just love that Mawile. Going to be able to finish it off with energy. And expecting the Azumarill to come back in and potentially trying to go for a play rough, but they bring in Swampert, so that's not good. It's not bad. We're going to let this just feint us down because we're just going to go in with the Superior, and we don't want to lose switch advantage. So they're deciding to stay in here, knowing that my Superior is a tank. I let this go through, but it's just a Hydro Cannon. They make a switch into their Azumarill, and we're going to be going for the Leaf Tornado. And we're going to be using a shield here. I know we're tanky, but that's still going to hurt. And we want to survive because we have another Pokemon in the back there that's also weak to grass. So just keeping this thing alive and going here. They're down to 0 shield, so we're just going to be able to easy win this here. And then in comes Swampert and immediately goes down. So doing okay with that team. Well, I'm always doing okay with that team. There's always a few times where I take quite a few losses, though. And that just happens. Bad leads. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Genesect now. Starting it off with the defense form Deoxys, of course. And we're met with a Melmetal. This is a good matchup for me. Now expecting them to go with a Rock Slide and then just kind of run away. Switch. They're actually going into Jirachi, in which we're going to be going in with our Genesect here. And we will take a lot of damage from Doom Desire. I mean, pretty much everything takes a lot of damage from that move. And we're going to be doing a lot of damage with our bug moves. Now, they are Psychic, technically super effective to Psychic, but since they're part Steel type, that is actually going to be neutralized, but still doing a good amount. Felt like I should have maybe shelled that up. Maybe should have done that. We go in with our Deoxys, get a little bit brave, and farm it down. We have a lot of energy here. They're going in with their Meganium. So it's not looking great because our Genesect was our Grass Destroyer. But it's down now, so we're switching into a Azumarill. I don't... What's the logic behind that one, to be honest with you? I think I was stuck and I was done for, so I just made a life or death situation switch. I mean... Not really. It was more just of a silly switch. Should have just went down with the ship with the Deoxys. This match is lost at this point. And we go down by Vine Whip spanked. Alright. Anyways, on to the next battle. We were met with a Tropius. Really good Pokemon here. Very strong, very tanky. Does a lot of damage. All around reliable. We're going to be going for Rock Slide, doing good damage. Super effective, right? But that Leaf Blade is hurting. It's hurting quite a bit, and I don't like it one bit. But we're able to get to another one, and I know they're going to potentially shield. Or very nice switch there. Okay. At this point, I'm thinking, let's just do as much counter. Let's try to get to a Thunderbolt. Unfortunately, wasted a lot of energy there. And even another negative is the fact that they were able to gain so much energy during that period while we wasted ours. And we don't have a real hard counter to this Registeel here. Going for the Ice Beam to Beta Shield. We get it. We get the shield. That's good. We're going to be letting this go through. We're getting a little brave. We're switching into the Tropius, in which we're going into our Genesect. Let's go. Let's see the performance here. Shielding that up because I don't want to take any damage. I guess you can call that a good bait, but at the same time, I was going to shield up anything. In comes the Altaria. We're going to go for Magnet Bomb. Let's see the damage on this. It's really nice, actually. Yeah, look at that. Pretty good damage. Very low energy. A little bit of lag here, which really annoyed me. It put me behind on the energy. So I did include one of the lag battles. If I don't sound too enthusiastic, it's because I had a bad battle day with the lag, and every time that happens, it just ruins my day. Because this is what I look forward to doing here, bringing to you guys, and then when I get all this lag, you see the shorter videos. That's why I'm limited. I'm not going to be putting all these laggy battles up here because, yep. Anyways, take them out, and they're bringing in the Altaria. Folks, are we going to be able to win with the Genesect? Can we do this? Oh my gosh. Are we going to actually be able to take... Oh, wow. That's right. Genesect for the win at the end there. Looking nice. So I do believe we're going back with the Mawile team, and we have a Jirachi lead. This is great. This is a really good lead here. So let's just play this out. Make a crucial mistake by letting this go through. Whoopsie daisy. I should actually block that. Seeing that they actually have a Venusaur weak to Mawile as well. Oh, I really could have used it. Unfortunately, we're not looking too hot. We have Superior. It can tank a Sludge Bomb. Barely. Sludge Bomb still is a hard-hitting move. They bait me out there, and I just... Oh, that hurt. That bait hurt because we would have been able to take that Frenzy Plant, no problem. Now, we're going to just hope that this is not a Sludge Bomb and let it go through. It is a Frenzy Plant, as you've seen. It is doing okay damage still. Frenzy Plant is just so OP. So the Jirachi does enter. We're going to be going for that Leaf Tornado immediately. We're not lowering the attack, but still doing a little bit of damage, which is better than nothing before we do go down. The Superior did its job. In comes the Jirachi here. We're able to feint that down, and now we have a Whiscash in the back. So this is a winning scenario for us because we do have a shield. We're just going to be shielding up the first move. And Blizzard, well, they're not going to want to go for Blizzard. Mud Bomb is what they're going to continuously want to go for. We're going to be going for that Hydro Pump, doing big damage. And at this point, we're going to be able to get to an Ice Beam, but I do decide to just feint it down with Bubbles here because we will be able to tank the Mud Bombs here. And we finish it off with Bubble. Moving it into the next match, starting it off with Deoxys. So we're going to be using the Genesect line here, and we're met with an Azumarill. Now, we're going to try to go for the Thunderbolt. We're going to let this go through. That was a bit early. So it is a Ice Beam. That's good. It's not doing much damage. Let's just hope they let this go through, and they do. And then they make an immediate switch, and we're going to be going in with our Genesect. Super effective to the Hypno here. But the Genesect is going to be a bit squishy, so we need to be wary of a possible Fire Punch. But it's an Ice Punch, not very effective, but still, it's going to do good damage. We'll see that here in a second, I think. So they shield that up. They want to get off another charge move. We are farming. We're going to let this go through. And it is going to be another Ice Punch. So able to take that fairly well. In comes the Azumarill. We're going for that Magnet Bomb, which is going to do neutral damage. And quite a bit at that. As you can see here, almost fainting it out. Switching immediately. And we want to farm down with counter at this point. Don't know if that was the best call. Potentially should have went for a Rock Slide maybe. But now we have a ton of energy for this Altaria, in which we're going to be able to do super effective Rock Slides to them. So they're using their last shield, and we're going to be able to connect this Rock Slide here. Doing big damage. Let's go. But the problem is, we're not able to get to another Rock Slide, and they farmed us down. So let's see what we can do here. We should be fine. They have no more shields anyways. So we're simply going to go for an Ice Beam, and then take the Altaria, but they do back out at that point, and I take the win. Moving it into the next battle, and we're going with Mawile, all right? Expecting a switch here, waiting, and then there it goes. I was trying to switch, but I hit the Power Punch. Now, I feel like they need to switch the mechanics here that are not next to your charge moves, so that doesn't happen. That's happened to me multiple times, and it's caused me the battle in which I needed to hold the energy, and I knew that. But when I try to switch, it's right on top of the charge move, and I tap that, and it's just like, come on. Anyways, we're in a great position with our Superior here. Always putting in work, and I'm loving this team. As you can tell, I'm still running it. because I want to rank up using these underused Pokemon. It's just so fun using Superior. I enjoy it a lot. Frenzy Plant is going to make it so good. I can't wait for that. Anyways, we are matched up with the Azumarill up against the Altaria here. This is always a good matchup, right? Although you need to kind of look out. Those Dragon Breaths will add up if they have 2 shields and they're able to connect those Sky Attacks. The damage is going to accumulate. They make a very nice switch into their Lantern, and I waste that energy on a not very effective Lantern. I switch into the Mawile here in hopes that I could potentially try to get off a Play Rough, but they took me out with a Thunderbolt and I back out, and I was like, nah, that's over. Good games, you got me. And moving on to the next one here. Starting it off with Mawile, we're met with a Melmetal. This is good. They're switching into a Alolan Marowak. I switch into my Azumarill, and we could definitely take a Shadow Ball. No problem here. Potentially could have shielded that up, though. I mean, gonna bait out a shield. They let it go through, so I could have went for Hydro Pump, and I was really close to just taking it out. But we don't know if they're going to use a shield or not, so it was a little bit safer going that route. I'm pretty sure they're going to go for a Bone Club here to potentially preserve their energy, so I let it go through. And getting off a charge move immediately with the Azumarill. At this point, we could switch, but we're just going to chip away as much as we can. But the unfortunate part is they're farming us down. So they're going to have a lot of energy. Melmetal's charge moves don't take much to get off, so we're looking not too great. Probably better that I go with my Superior to absorb whatever they do throw at me. It's going to be a superpower, so they lowered their attack and defense. They go for a Rock Slide. We still have 2 shields, and I am not using them still. Holding on to those shields. Let's go ahead and get off a Leaf Tornado. They decide to shield up. We're going to be going in with Mawile. And we absorb this power-up punch. And it still hurts. Now we're going to be going for Play Rough here. Let's hope this... Well, I mean, it is going to connect. They have no more shields. We have 2 shields left. What am I doing? What am I really doing? I need to start, using those here. Superior is going to get both the shields. So what we want to do here is get this Azumarill out of here before they can get off a charge move. We have a shield for the Melmetal. It's so low. It will, be able to potentially get off a couple of those power-up punches. Or should I say superpowers. It gets off one, we block it, and then take it out with quick moves. Starting it off with Mawile, we're met with a Registeel. We love it, and they switch out, they know. And then they go into Shiftry. We decide to just stay in here. Too many times that I have had a good matchup with the Mawile, just like that with the Registeel. They switch into a Shiftry, and I switch into my Azumarill, and then I end up potentially losing it when I could have had a much better outcome when I just stayed in the fight. They go back in with the Registeel, which leads me to believe they have another Pokemon in the back weak to fire. We've seen this situation, folks, right? We've discussed it. Do you really want to go into Go Battle League with 3 of your Pokemon weak to the same thing? I know I'm using 2 Pokemon weak to fire, but they reveal it and it's a Haunter, so they just kind of wanted to save that for the late game. They do still have shields going there. It's holding on by a sliver. We decide to let it go down, and we take it out with Superior there. All right, so moving into the next battle, and I'm one to talk. I'll have 2 Pokemon weak to fire. The Mawile and the Superior, but then we have the Azumarill to protect that. But once the Azumarill goes down, if there's fire, I'm not going to say it's a game over, but it's not going to look good. All right, so we have the Azumarill mirror match. They hit us with a Hydro Pump. Very good. Like that a lot. That means we're going to have a somewhat even matchup here. All right, so just going to let this go through. It's an Ice Beam, potentially trying to bait me, but I'm not going to shield my Azumarill up. At this point, we're going to be getting off another Hydro Pump, and it's almost enough to faint. We tried to be clever here and switch into Superior and kind of like take him out before they're able to use a charge move, but they were able to, and I decided to let it go through. They're going in with an Umbreon here. Now, let's see if we can just lower their attack and just keep going to town with the Leaf Tornado. So we lower the attack once. Great. And this is going to be a 50% chance for the Leaf Tornado to lower the attack. We lower it again, so we have it twice lowered. I was thinking to myself, if I survive this, I can't believe it, and I do. I was shocked. It's like, man, this thing is not only a tank, but with that, you know, dropping of the opponent's attack is absolutely phenomenal. And then we drop it a third time. So whatever that thing is going to do to my Mawile or Azumarill, it's not going to be doing much at all. Seeing that resist both moves, the normal and both the dark. They're switching into Flygon here. Now I could have potentially went for a play rough. And let's see what I do here. I decide to let it go through. It's a Dragon Claw, very nice. So being both Fairy and Steel type, we have a massive resistance to Dragon type moves. And they're going for an Earth Power, and I realize at this point that I messed up. I thought my Azumarill had about half health, but unfortunately it's already in the red, so we're not looking good here. I thought, I think I can pull this off. Let's see how this all works out. I'm gonna have to shield this up here. Farm it down. And we do. Time is close. Look at the time. In comes the Umbreon, and they have energy. Oh, man. I really should have shielded up my Mawile and just kind of finished it off. Hey, but it is what it is. That's why you have to pay attention to how much health you have when you retreat them. So they're making a switch into Azumarill, and we're going into our superior. We've seen this 100 times. An Ice Beam. Potentially shielding it up from time to time. That first one there, that was really quick. Should have expected that, but I figured we'll just let that one go through. Hit it with a couple of Leaf Tornadoes, potentially lowering the attack, and then we'll kind of decide what we want to do here. So it is so close. So what I think I should do is shield this up, finish it off, so we do have the kind of switch advantage here. They're bringing in Altaria. Now, unfortunately, at this point, they're going to be able to farm us down with a bunch of energy. And I don't think we lowered their attack there, so not looking too great. They still have 2 shields. We only have 1. We're going to be bringing in our Azumarill to absorb this, potentially waiting for a switch, but they're going strong, knowing that they have 2 shields, and they're going to be able to wear this Azumarill down, in which that is absolutely the case. So we're going to be letting this go through again. We do not want to be left shieldless at this point, making a switch into Mawile, and they're going into their Medicham. We have to land this, otherwise we lose. All right, so we land the play rough. We take them out in one shot. I was very ecstatic about that. Let's just put it that way. And now we're just going to go for Power Up Punch, baiting out another shield there, and we get their last one. Very good. And we're just going to let the Mawile absorb this. They're going to farm us down a little bit more, but we still have a shield, and we should be okay for this situation. So anyways, if you did enjoy this video, trainers, please give it a big thumbs up, share it with your friends, and I'll be bringing you some more PvP in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.
The first reports of the virus are believed to have been in State College. The virus has since spread throughout the state of Pennsylvania. It is believed that it will spread to adjacent states within the next 12 hours. Some of the affected persons are turning into zombie-like creatures.